Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to Look Back. This is a series that we do here in the Dice Tower. We take a look at reviews that I did 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, and 20 years ago. And I tell you what I think about those games now, if I think about them at all. So let's jump back a year. So Legacies. So this game, which Brookstone did a great job putting this game together. It's a big, beautiful, very interactive Euro-style game. But man, there's several problems with it that kept me from giving it anything higher than a 6. It's long. I just felt there was a lot of effort put into. There's too much rules for the amount of fun, I think, what it comes down to. It's fine, but I wish it was better. It also seems to have fallen off the zeitgeist, but most games do. Also a 6 to Venn diagram. I really wanted to like this game. The idea of playing cards into different sections of a Venn diagram, trying to get you to guess the words from a group, sounds good, but the word selection wasn't good. Such a big problem. Drops it to a 6. Key to the Kingdom. This is a reprint from Restoration Games. This one's really good, especially with kids. Nice adventure, a lot of fun. 7 out of 10. Tree Blocks. A very weird, funky, abstract game where you're putting together little blocks, almost Lego-esque, as you're building out a tree. A nice, cool, interesting game. 7 out of 10. Marvel Dice Throne. This I gave an 8.5. I love Dice Throne. I don't know that I like the Marvel more than regular Dice Throne. I like regular Dice Throne just as much. I also give that an 8.5. But, of course, having Marvel to mix doesn't hurt. And Unlock Kids. What a fantastic game this is. For younger kids, of course, but a really cool way to use the Unlock. My son loved it. 9 out of 10. 5 years ago, I took a look at Cavern Tavern. This is, I think, one of the first games I played from Final Frontier, and introduced me to some problems that they had, especially in early games, where there was a lot going on in the game, but the game itself didn't feel like it gave enough choices. It's kind of a weird thing, a dice placement game. I like the theme of it. You know, you're serving fantasy people in a tavern, but it just didn't come out great. It was okay. 6 out of 10. Pinball Showdown. This game definitely feels like pinball. I just wish there was just a little, the production was a little higher. 6.5. Mistborn House War. This one's interesting. This is based on Mistborn series, and I love Mistborn series, and it's based on one of the most boring aspects from that series, where the houses are arguing back and forth. It's an odd choice, but the game itself is good, and the characters you know and love come up, so I give it an 8, despite the weirdness of the theme. And Micropolis, another 8. This is about ants, but a very simple game in which you're building a ant hive in front of you by drafting a Bruno Catala, a very good game. 10 years ago, I reviewed Croak. This is a game about jumping frogs. It's not very good at all. 4 out of 10. Pixel Lincoln Deck Building. Boy, I remember this one came out. It's funny. It's kind of like Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Here we have Pixel Lincoln. I'll forgive the pixel part of it, because it was funny, but it's a very not bad, but not very good deck building game. 5 out of 10. Talat. This is a game that is for, well, it says 2 to 3, but it's pretty much exactly for 3-player abstract game. Interesting idea. 6 out of 10. Reflection. This is where you're putting down a mirror and trying to solve a puzzle, figuring out half of it. An interesting idea. Didn't work as well as I want to, but still interesting. 6.5. War of the Rings, 2nd edition. I dropped this from an 8.5 to an 8. Don't kill me, Roy, or whoever else is looking at this. I think War of the Rings is a very fine game. It's just that I dropped it down because I don't play these 3.5, 4-hour games anymore. I know someone will jump in and go, it's not that long, but it usually is. It's still fantastic. It's still a neat game. There's a lot of things I like about it. Just on a personal level, I'm not playing it as much. Conquest of the Planet Earth Apocalypse. This is an expansion for Conquest of the Planet Earth, but it really adds more stuff. Conquest of Planet Earth is one of those games that says co-op and competitive, but it really shines as a cooperative game. This adds a lot to it, an 8.5. And then 20 years ago, the game that put me on the map as a reviewer, not because I'm a good reviewer, but because I was so ecstatic about this game, and that's Duel of Ages Set 1 World Spanner. Duel of Ages is, I originally gave it a 10. You see I dropped it to an 8. 20 years will do that to you sometimes with some games. This game has not aged particularly well, and some people say it never was good, but it was fun. Duel of Ages, you have different characters from throughout time, from Genghis Khan to Pecos Bill, real characters, legendary characters, Annie Oakley, but also Pecos Bill, who's a made-up character. And they're in an arena, they're all running around, they're fighting, they're doing things, they're flying spaceships, and and going bowling. And I know this sounds dumb and they're fighting each other, but just the immense amount of combinations just blew my mind. I was so impressed with this. It had opportunity fire rules from ASL, but also had, just fun, oh, this guy has a cool stat. There was an interesting stat system where white meant you were the best at something, all the way down to red, you weren't very good at it at all. Black was, I guess, terrible, but they had like a color coding system, and you would compare the colors to see how well you did at challenges. Just, to me, it was an absolute fun, cool idea that I still do enjoy, but I can see some of the problems. The game's very unwieldy as time goes by. But hey, you know what? I don't regret giving it a 10 at the time because it was that much fun. Anyway, those are the reviews that I did 1, 5, 10, and 20 years ago. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.